Hi. So here's the new skill for homework today. And it's a power of a power. So we're learning all these exponential rules of exponents. And here's a new one. And so you can see the example here. We have something to a power, parentheses to a power. So you're always going to recognize this because it's going to have parentheses and a power outside that parentheses. And so what that means, if we have a to the fourth cubed, that means a to the fourth times a to the fourth times a to the fourth. All right. If we use our multiplication rule, we know that when the bases are the same, we can just add the exponents. So we would get a to the 4, 8, 12, a to the 12. But you might notice there's a shortcut we could take. And if we look here, 4 times 3 is 12. The shortcut is we can multiply the exponents. Okay, so if there's an integer, for example, 3r to the third quantity squared, that's how we'd read it, quantity squared, that's what the parentheses mean. It means we have to remember that that 3 has a hidden exponent of 1, and we are going to multiply these powers. So we will get 3 to the second, r to the ninth, and then we have to simplify 3 to the second. So 3 times 3 is 9. So this would be 9r to the ninth. If we had a negative number in here, say we have a negative 2x to the third, y to the second. Okay, we have to remember that there's an exponent of 1 with the negative 2. So what our, oops, I don't have a power here. And if all of that is to the fourth power, that means we have negative 2 to the fourth power. We have x to the third to the fourth power, and we have y squared to the fourth power. And so with the negative 2, that means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. All right. And that would give us a positive 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So that would give us a positive 16, x to the 12th, y to the 8th. Again, the shortcut is to just multiply these powers. Okay, so let's do some sample problems. These will be like what you're doing for homework. All right, so first I'm going to rewrite each one, distributing the power. So this problem would be 3 squared x to the 4th. Again, I am multiplying these exponents. And then I need to simplify the 3 squared. So 3 times 3, not 3 times 2, 3 times 3. Right? That's what that means. So here I get 9x to the 4th. Anything to the 0 power is 0. So if this whole thing inside the parentheses is to the 0 power, my answer is just 1. Right? On number 3 here, I'm going to multiply my exponents. So I will get n to the negative 6. We always have to write these with positive exponents. So that means that n to the negative 6, the n actually belongs in the denominator. And that would be our answer. All right. Reminding me on number 4, reminding you that that 3 has a power of 1. So when I multiply these powers, I'm going to get 3 to the third, k to the ninth, and then 3 to the third, is 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. So this is 27 k to the 9th. Couple more samples. On number 5, I'm going to distribute this power. I'm going to multiply the power, so I get x to the 12th, y to the negative 15. Negative exponents means this belongs in the reciprocal place. So my x to the 12th stays in the numerator, while my y to the 15th belongs in the denominator. This one, you got to remember there's a negative 1 there, and it's to the first power. So we have negative 1 to the 5th. We have x squared to the 5th, and we have y squared to the 5th. Right? The variables are the easy part. We get x to the 10th, y to the 10th. Okay. This negative 1 to the 5th power, that's negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. Right? Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. And we have a negative 1 hanging out at the end here. So when we multiply all of that, we end up with a negative 1. We just have to write the negative in our answer. We could write the 1, but you don't need to. All right, our last two examples. Again, we're going to distribute the negative exponents, so we get x to the negative 6. We multiply powers when we have a power of a power, and we get a positive 15. We need to rewrite that. The positive exponent stays where it is. The negative exponent moves to the reciprocal place. And on number 8, I will remind you again, the 2 has an exponent of 1. So when we multiply powers here, we get 2 to the negative 1, x to the negative 5, y to the negative 4. They're all negative exponents, which means they all belong in the reciprocal place. So we have a 1 left on top. We have 2, x to the 5th, y to the 4th in the denominator.